This presentation gives you an overview of how BMC Atrium Discovery works. One of BMC Atrium Discovery's key differentiators is the fact that we use an object mesh database. From here on, I'll refer to this database as the data store. It's important because the data we need to store represents the real world, which is complex, interconnected, and changing all the time. Each object that's stored represents a real thing. The data store can be extended on the fly and is great at representing the dynamic and changing relationships between all the objects we discover. We are often asked why we don't use a relational database. Well, for the user, it's a poor choice because the data is represented in a way that's not natural. The database is also harder to extend and very hard to make sense of the data where complex relationships are important. Let's look at the logical end-to-end process of discovery. We begin by securing credentials on the appliance in what's known as the credential vault. These credentials are used to log into hosts, network devices, and even mainframes. I'll use host discovery as an example. Atrium discovery can use various different ways to access a host, such as SSH, Telnet, WMI, and SNMP. The discovery process then logs on to the host and executes commands. The collected data is stored within the data store as directly discovered data, or DDD. Mainframe and network device discovery is achieved in a similar way. However, there are fewer ways to access each. Windows discovery takes a slightly different approach, as we require an external service running on a dedicated Windows server to log in and scan all the other Windows hosts within the estate. Typically, the Windows server running the discovery slave is administered and maintained by the customer. Credentials are handled slightly different as well. There are two different discovery slave types: credential slaves, which hold credentials within the credential vault, and Active Directory slave, which runs the slave against a user that can gain access to the target Windows hosts. Here we see a diagram similar to the one we looked at earlier. It highlights the fact that the Windows credential slave relies on credentials stored within the credential vault on the BMC Atrium Discovery appliance. When the appliance discovers a Windows host, it delegates the discovery task to the Windows discovery slave. The discovery slave then goes off and logs into the target hosts and runs the necessary discovery commands. An Active Directory slave holds the credentials on the server running the discovery slave service. So here we see the same discovery process, but the credentials are no longer stored within the credential vault. We've described the fact that the data discovered by Atrium Discovery returns to the appliance in the form of directly discovered data, or DDD. This process of adding DDD to the data store triggers events within the reasoning platform. The reasoning platform has access to a set of patterns. Each pattern is a chunk of knowledge about something in particular. For example, let's say we discovered a host that is running a process called MySQLD. We can then work out that it's running an instance of MySQL Server. Executing the MySQL executable with the command line switch of version will give you the version number. The original discovery data plus the new data received from the pattern is all written to the data store as DDD. At the bottom of this diagram, we have our directly discovered data. As DDD is written into the data store, the reasoning engine uses rules to infer hosts and patterns to infer software instances and business applications. Simply put, The reasoning engine converts data into information in the form of inferred data. The patterns that we have been referring to are powerful, but they are also quite flexible. BMC will release new patterns on a monthly basis of popular commercial software. You can also create your own custom patterns to extend discovery or to find bespoke software running within your environment. It is also possible to write patterns to query databases. Data written to the data store is instantly indexed, allowing the user to quickly search for items of interest. Atrium Discovery's keyword search means that it is not always necessary to know exactly what you are searching for. Along with keyword search, dashboards and reports provide a jumping-off point for data analysis and exploration. Result lists include powerful navigation like sorting, filtering, visualizations, and charts. All data, including provenance, is available for analysis. Now let's have a look at a brief overview of the UI. Log into the UI of the BMC Atrium Discovery appliance with the credentials provided. You'll notice a title bar, and just below that, the tab bar, where you can navigate to other parts of the UI. On the right-hand side of the UI, you'll see the keyword search field, and just below that, an area for quick access tools, as highlighted here. As you move within the UI, keep an eye out on this area, as different icons will appear to give you different tools to explore. The top-level navigation on the UI happens via the tabs. Some pages contain second-level and even third-level navigation buttons and tabs, but not all areas have this second or third-level navigation. When we make reference to navigation within the UI, we will refer to pages or tabs, then subpages or second or third level navigation buttons, and then the particular sections as shown. Give it a try now. Go to Discovery, Discovery Status, Recent Runs. Navigate to the home page. This page will always show the current dashboard in use. Dashboards display various reports, charts, and summary channels. There are many out-of-the-box topical dashboards to choose from. You can also create and customize your own dashboard. Now navigate to the Applications tab. This page is a good starting point for you if you're interested in the packages, software instances, and business applications within your estate. You will also have access to many application-type reports. Now navigate to the Infrastructure tab. Here, you'll see an overview of the types of infrastructure that are found within your estate. There are also quite a few infrastructure reports, but you'll need to scroll down to see them all. Next, let's look at the Discovery tab. Under Currently Processing Runs, you'll have the ability to control discovery. You can also manage exclude ranges, schedule future discovery runs, view previous discovery runs, and kick off topology runs via the third-level navigation tabs. The second-level navigation buttons will also allow you to manage patterns, credentials, and view discovery reports. The Reports tab is a page dedicated to all the reports you'll find within the appliance. You might have noticed that we have quite a few reports. You never need to memorize the location of a report. You can just use the keyword search box to find the report you need. Our data store indexes reports as well as discovered data and inferred objects. And finally, navigate to the Administration tab. This page divides administration tasks within 4 different topical channels: Discovery, Appliance, Security, and Model. From the Administration tab, you can view the discovery scripts and options or set up consolidation. You can set up and manage users and groups, or activate and control authentication methods. You can control the Atrium Discovery Appliance, or change the logging levels, or view and manage the logs. You can also view the currently loaded taxonomy, or view model configurations. For more information on this topic, as well as many others, see our online documentation. And for more in-depth hands-on training and certification, please see the learning path for Atrium Discovery.